If you've watched the Thunder play this season, you've probably thought things like, hey, this team has a lot of interesting young talent, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is really, really good, and they play really hard and are fun to watch, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is really, really good.
Sensational.
But you've also probably thought, I wonder what this team will look like with Chet Holmgren. We've actually gotten a pretty good preview of what Chet might look like playing with SGA and Giddey and Dort and everyone else with the way that the Thunder have used their centers this season, particularly Aleksej Pokuševski. Poku has been a critical piece for OKC this season on both ends of the floor, but especially serving as an offensive connector. He spaces out opposing bigs with his ability to shoot, like Chet, which is one of the reasons OKC leads the league in drives from every spot on the floor this season. But he also bridges one side of the floor to the other, catching passes in the middle and moving it to the other side of the floor. And defensively, despite appearances, Poku's held up on the interior better than you probably think, mainly because of an understanding of how to use length, timing, and angles.
Not today.
And if we go back to Summer League, where Chet first debuted in Salt Lake City, then he played a few games in Vegas as well, combining what we've seen this season from the whole team, we can get some more insight into how he's going to impact the Thunder. Maybe you remember his first game where he made a loud opening statement. NBA Twitter was buzzing, and the number 2 overall pick was the top trending topic for most of the night. At the time, maybe some of that reaction was pushed by the curiosity around Chet, about his size, about his frame, about his skill, about his potential. He was a polarizing player in the pre-draft process to a lot of analysts and experts, so there was naturally a hefty amount of intrigue behind his debut. And everyone went into that first game with the proper disclaimer and context that any sane NBA fan has. It's Summer League. There were tweets everywhere. I will not overreact to Summer League. You can't ride too high after a performance, and you certainly can't overreact the other way, calling a player a bust or even drawing skepticism after a simple Summer League game or 2 or 5. It's Summer League. It is Summer League. However, Chet's debut was eyebrow-raising in a lot of ways, and it started just a minute into that first game when he showed his length and instincts blocking a Kofi Coburn layup. And it wasn't a block crashing over from the weak side either. It was Holmgren playing Coburn, who is 6'11", nearly 300 pounds, mind you, straight up taking contact and timing his jump perfectly to get a piece. It was a great example of how too much was made about Chet's frame. He's been immensely successful with that frame at every level he's played at. And he's also learned how to leverage it against players that outweigh him by 100 or more pounds. Chet flashed his skill and versatility, confidently shooting from 3 whenever he was given space. He showcased his handle, going between the legs, behind the back, crossing over, stepping back. He hauled in rebounds, kick-started fast breaks on his own. He even hit a beautiful one-legged Dirk-style fadeaway. All that stuff was eye candy. It was fun to watch. But the thing about Chet's Summer League that was most impressive lied well beyond the box score and was probably only really visible to the people that were paying attention. For a player as dominant as Chet was, he also didn't really force anything. He played within the team context from start to finish on both ends of the floor. Even when he started cooking, he kept the ball moving, playing off Josh Giddey, never stepping outside the boundaries of team. Because that's actually one of the big areas that drew the Thunder to Chet. He has a skill set that can blend, that can fit, doing small things that can add up, like well-positioned weak side help, or like a smart contest on a layup, or well-timing a back cut to the rim. But his talent is such that it can speak very loudly, which it obviously did last summer. So, translate it to next season, where Chet joins an interesting roster constructed with size, length, and positional versatility. Everyone can shoot, dribble, pass. It's all by design, and Chet will be a part of that. He will certainly be additive next season. Still, it's necessary to mention, he will also be officially a rookie, and he will have to grow and learn through his experiences, and it will take some time for him to fully acclimate to on-court chemistry and to the NBA game as a whole. That's really what the Thunder lost most with Chet's injury, the ability for both him and them to learn. But the Thunder won't be asking him to stand out from the concepts that are already in place anyway, to become some outsized part of the team that takes over and carries a bigger than necessary burden, that instantly fixes an issue or changes everything. And really, that is what makes Chet Holmgren special. The blend of talent and approach, a team-first mentality that understands roles and patience and process. So, get excited thinking about Chet Holmgren and what he can add to the already growing group OKC has. You should, but get excited for the right reasons.